everybody and welcome back to my channel. Before I get started on today's video, I have a quick announcement to make. In case you didn't notice, I'm now doing art videos on my channel as well. Don't feel pressured to watch these, but they will be uploaded every Tuesday. If that's not your jam, my writing videos will continue every Thursday going forward. Now let's get started on today's video. Something I have to do way more than I'd like to admit is edits for my agent. I don't like to admit this because I'd like to pretend like I'm an amazing writer who turns in a perfect draft. In case you didn't know, my agent is Rena Rossner. Amazeballs, although I'm pretty sure she's close to queries right now. When Rena sends me edits, the first thing I do is avoid the emails for like 3 to 4 days. This is due to my extreme anxiety. This portion can be skipped for some, but for me it's pretty essential. After that first stage, which is not really a stage, it's more of like a you are a garbage human being, comes denial. I open her email and I read her good or bad feedback and I shake my head. She must be wrong, right? I'm either amazing and so is my writing, or I'm shit and so is my writing. Either way, she's wrong. Then it sets in, usually, that I'm probably like the worst writer ever. Even if she said good things, she must be wrong, right? Like I'm really bad. And if she says I'm bad, after I get over that whole, I'm really a good writer, then it starts thinking that maybe she's right. Maybe I am a bad writer. And then I take some more time off. And some people might say, oh, you should jump right in, or you're not a writer unless you're writing. And you know, the quicker you get into them, the quicker they'll get done. And believe me, I know that. I need to remind you, I have severe anxiety, horrible anxiety. So, you know, I'm going to need some headspace before I dive into these edits, and I think it's okay to take that. Now comes the actual game plan. Sometimes Rena sends me things like line edits, lots and lots of line edits. Those are easy to edit. I see what she said, like add a little tension here, or word this like this instead. That shit's a piece of cake. I tend to get those edits done really quickly. However, this time was different. She gave me more broad overall notes, like you should incorporate more of so-and-so throughout, or this character should show more of this side in this scene, or this side of them throughout the book because you talk about it but it doesn't show, and that shit scared me for many reasons. I just apologize really quick that you can't see my eyes when I'm talking, but you know, glass is life. It scared me because what if I edit it and somehow make it worse? Her suggestion could be incorporated many different ways. It means that she believes in me and my writing, and she trusts my judgment and that I know how to make it better. It makes her an amazing agent. In case you didn't know, this is my kitty. His name's Alfalfa, and he's attacking the tripod again. He's so angry. He likes to attack the tripod and I won't let him. Hey, can you meow for the camera? Alfalfa's still attacking, so we're gonna have to deal with the shakeage if I get any. When I get edits like these overarching comments, these overarching suggestions, I go through a couple of basic editing steps. Whenever I edit, be it for Rena, myself, beta readers, I like to skim through the book and make a list of roughly what happens in each chapter. Some people like to do this on post-it notes, not post-it notes, what are those things called? Index notes, which honestly is a great idea. If I had a bigger space, I might do that. However, I just tend to do it in a notebook and a list. This can get messy. After that, I'll read one of Rena's comments. I focus on one, and what I'll do is I will go through this outline and I'll mark in different colors where I want to incorporate this specific edit. I also did this in a different color. I don't know if I said that or not. Am I repeating myself? I'll do it in a different color, so that way if I do the whole outline in black, maybe this edit will be in red, or maybe the first round of edits will be in red, the second round will be in blue. It's a mess. It's not organized. When I do this stage, I may make a little note. It could be a little as just a little mark, like put like a character's name next to the little section, or it could be like, make this character murder this person. It has a wide range. And I will go through all of her notes and I'll do that for the outline for every note. So again, I tend to stick to one color per round of edits because I like to only make one outline unless it vastly changes, just because for me, I don't know why, I guess it's because maybe I'm kind of lazy and I don't want to remake these edits these outlines over and over again. I like to do things by hand, I don't know. Like I said, this leads to a lot of scribbling and crossing out and rewriting over stuff on this weird outline I've made. It can be really hard for other people to read, but because I'm the one that made it, I usually can decipher it. I have one that I could show you that I'm not going to because it does have a lot of plot spoilers, but it is a freaking mess. And sometimes I even get confused looking at it. Luckily, I'm done editing that book. It is the Jack book, and that one's out on submission. I don't have to look at that outline again right now because it's nuts. For some reason though, my crazy brain interprets it and it does it perfectly, and it helps, not perfectly, most of the time, somewhat legibly, and it helps me get done. I'll go through my outline now and the Word document in which I'm editing in, and I'll start to make edits. I do this in order because I work better in order. I know some people can jump around, but I tend to work in order. Or actually, I always work in order. It just works better for me. So I'll go through the outline, how it's written, and whenever I get to a different color that needs to be edited, I'll start editing that. I do make sure to have track changes on because the first time I did editing for Rena, I did not have track changes on because like I never had an agent before. I didn't know, and she ended up getting a blank document. Well, not a blank document. She ended up getting a document where she didn't know where any changes were at, so she had to read back through the whole thing, and it took a lot more time than it should have because I was a noob. And so that's a little helpful hint there if you have an agent or maybe just a critique partner who wants to see some edits that you incorporated. Maybe you can turn on track changes so that way they don't have to reread the whole thing. It's just a little tip and it works perfectly. I actually prefer editing to drafting as I feel like I have more meat and bones to work with in a drafting stage. There's just something about the blank page that really paralyzes me, where if I see something I can edit, I'm like, oh, I already have something to work with here. I can just jump right in and start going at it. However, sometimes my anxiety likes to creep back at this stage. I try to push back at it and get through this point and get started on my edits because once I'm in the zone, I can tend to get it done. Like I said, I work better with drafts, so as long as I can push through my anxiety at this stage, I'm usually pretty good to go. I edit and edit until it's nice and clean and polished. Once I am done with this list and round of edits, I will read back through the manuscript and make sure nothing is wrong. Sometimes if there aren't a lot of edits, I'll go directly to where the track changes are and read those sections. If there's nothing substantial, it tends to be easier for me to just jump back into that little section and read that. But if there are substantial edits, I'll go back and I'll read the whole thing. This is the part where I tend to like just make sure that there are no plot holes or, you know, character blips where they're like totally out of character, and just make sure overall that it's still cohesive. Because when, face it, when you incorporate edits, sometimes it just like gets everywhere, you know? After that, I send that shit right off to Rena. Sometimes, rarely, she'll say it's all good to go, but usually it comes back with more edits. Line edits are usually like one of the last stages from me. She won't make line edits if she believes that there are substantial things to do, which actually now just makes me realize that I'm probably gonna have another round of line edits after this, which sucks. It doesn't suck, actually. I like editing, but I just really want to be done with this book, you know? Like I said, the edits I'm working on right now are more substantial. These are actually a second round. The first round was me trying to incorporate some other stuff. She's just wanting me to enhance and make some of the stuff better. If you'd like to see me work on those edits, make sure you hit that subscribe button below and become a citizen of Kevlandia. Because next week's video is going to be a writing vlog following me making these edits, which I have not actually even figured out what they are yet, but it's gonna be a writing vlog following me making these edits to my manuscript. I am very excited and very hopeful, as I do feel like 2019 has been off to a good start. It's a very exciting time. There's lots of things moving and changing in my life, but writing is, I feel invigorated. Even though I haven't written anything yet, I'm still kind of like in this fatigue state from editing and writing so much in NaNoWriMo. I do plan on jumping back in, actually tomorrow or today, and starting that out because I'm really excited to get started on these edits. Like, very excited. I'm ready to get done with this book. I've been working on this book for years. It went on submission, it got pulled off submission, it's gonna go back on submission again. It's been a wild ride, okay? Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure you hit that like button below, and make sure you comment what kinds of things do you do when you edit. Oh, what's crawling on me? Like I said before, I'll be back on Tuesday with another art video, and I'll be back on Thursday with a writing video. Until then, stay sexy, YouTube.